There are a lot of things that will completely sabotage your weight loss. So I started thinking about, what contributed to my 70 pounds of weight loss that I did all the way back in 2018. If you've been watching a lot of my YouTube videos, you'll know I've talked about the keto diet, carnivore, strength training, intermittent fasting. But there's one huge mistake that people really make, and this is a really big industry. So I want to dive into that because you could be making this one big mistake that's completely wrecking your weight loss. Now, before we actually get into that, for those of you who don't know who I am, maybe you're new to my channel, my name is Tim Ernst. I'm an intermittent keto fasting coach who has helped hundreds of men from all over the world to lose 40 pounds in at least 16 weeks using my Keto Shed 40 coaching program. If you want more information about that, I'll go ahead and drop a link in the description of this video that kind of give you some more details as to how I could possibly help you, okay? So what I want to talk about is something that a lot of people fall into and they wonder why they're plateauing in their weight loss, okay? So if you've been watching my YouTube video, you know I talk a lot about keto, carnivore, intermittent fasting, strength training, but this one's a big one, okay? And it's snacking, okay? The snacking industry is huge. I mean, all you have to do is go in your grocery store, go down the checkout aisle, the convenience stores. Snacks are everywhere. And you're going to be really surprised that a lot of these snacks that you're going to see on the front of the label, you'll see things like heart healthy, high fiber, but then people never really turn the box around or the package around and see what's in these actual snacks, okay? So I want to talk about 5 snacks that are probably completely sabotaging your weight loss, okay? So the first one is, we actually went into my local grocery store here in Florida, Publix supermarkets. And as you walk into the store, what you're gonna see right in the corner in the front is you're gonna see a smoothie bar. Now they do sell other things as well. They actually sell alcohol, if you can believe that, right in the grocery store as you're shopping. You could have wine and beer on tap, which is crazy. But they also do like coffee and they also do smoothies, okay? Smoothies is one of those things that people gravitate to because they feel like they had a hard workout and they want to go ahead and have a smoothie. The problem with smoothies is that they're full of sugar. Now I know there's smoothies out there that have less sugar and maybe you're trying to get the protein in, but I want you to stop and think about this for a second. If you want to look solid, like you want to look really strong and solid, right? Get your nutrition from solid food. But if you want to look soft and mushy, then you can go ahead and get your nutrition from liquid nutrition. I would say and argue, get your nutrition from solid food because you want to look solid. And you got to remember, there's a lot of hidden ingredients that you have in these smoothies, like the high sugar and those kind of things. So I personally would stay away from the smoothies, okay? Now, the second thing, as I was walking through my grocery store, that a lot of people end up eating are granola bars. These things are everywhere. They're typically down that cereal aisle, okay? I'm not gonna name the names, but there is just so many companies that are producing these granola bars. And again, you'll see things like, high fiber, heart healthy, all these type of things on the front of the box. But when you turn it over, you're gonna find there's a lot of added sugars to these granola bars. So I personally would stay away from the granola bars because they are probably sabotaging your weight loss, okay? Now, number 3 is gonna be one of my favorites, but I've kind of had to give it up, are nuts, okay? Now, the nuts that people tend to gravitate to are cashews. They're probably the worst kind of nut that you can have. I used to eat a lot of almonds, and I've recently have been eating macadamia nuts. I love macadamia nuts, but the problem with nuts, what you're gonna find is they taste really good. There's a lot of salt, and what can happen is that you can consume too many of them, therefore you're probably putting yourself in a calorie surplus at the end of the day, okay? So I would be careful with the nuts. I'm not saying not to have them, I'm saying try to use some self-control. I know myself, macadamia nuts are really good, salted almonds, those kind of things, but I'm telling you, those calories are gonna add up very, very quickly, okay? The next thing I want to talk about that's very popular snack is trail mix. Kind of similar to nuts, but you've got the dried fruits in there, you've got your nuts. If you turn over the back of a lot of these trail mix packages, you're gonna find high fructose corn syrup, high sugar. There's lots of carbohydrates in there as well. And you may not be aware, like we just talked about with nuts, you eat too many of them, there's gonna be a lot of carbohydrates in nuts as well. Even though they're a healthy fat, there's carbohydrates in nuts. So with trail mix, they kind of go together with the nuts, except for you got your dried fruits that got like your high fructose corn syrup and a lot of added sugars, okay? And then the last one that I see a lot of people gravitate to are yogurts, okay? There are a ton of brand of yogurts, and a lot of people like to get the ones with that fruit in the bottom of it. Those you gotta be very careful with because again, a lot of added sugar in yogurts. And when you think about all these snacks that I just named, you know, you got the smoothies, the granola bars, the trail mix, the yogurt, the nuts. Where do we kind of get this from? Why do we have to feel like we have to snack? Okay, I want to touch on that as well, okay? The issue that a lot of people have is they feel like when they get hungry, they feel like they need to have what's called a snack. But like, where did this all come from, right? I think what's happened in society is we've been programmed that if we're hungry, hey, just have a snack, okay? But if you're eating like 2 to 3 meals a day and you're snacking in between those meals, you're gonna see your calories add up very, very quickly. That's gonna put you in a caloric surplus, therefore it's making it very difficult to lose weight. And you're probably gaining weight off of some of these snacks, okay? So this is why I love doing intermittent fasting, you know, the 1 meal a day, the 2 meals a day, even if you do 3 meals a day. Did you know if you just stuck to 3 meals a day with no snacking, that's still considered intermittent fasting? And it's because most people don't just stick to 3 solid meals. They're having snacks in between those meals. So again, when you're eating meals, you're snacking, you're putting yourself in a caloric surplus, and all those snacks that I just listed, most of them are full of sugar, full of carbohydrates. These companies are deceiving you by putting things on the front of the box that say high fiber, heart healthy, you know, high protein. Yeah, it may be high protein, but what kind of sugars are in these snacks? So you gotta be aware. And I always teach my clients to read the label. I try to educate my clients. I don't want them to solely depend on me for every little thing. I want to educate them so when they go off on their own, they'll know exactly what to look for when they're buying certain foods. So me personally, I stay away from snacks. I don't have any snacks. I usually do 1 meal a day. Sometimes I'll do 2 meals a day and I'll kind of eat between like that 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's a great range to have your meals. So just be careful with the types of foods you're eating. And if you'll notice, a lot of your snacks, there's more than one ingredient in those snacks. So usually there's multiple ingredients. I personally like to stick to 1 ingredient whole food. You can't go wrong with that, okay? So if maybe you're guilty of having some of these snacks, I know I have. I used to love yogurt. Now there's some healthy yogurts out there like Greek yogurt that's, you know, it's pretty bland. It's high in protein, but it's bland. It doesn't have all the fruit in it. What I used to do is I would get the bland yogurt, Greek yogurt, and put fresh blueberries in there, fresh blackberries, raspberries. That's actually a better alternative. But some people can't process dairy very well, so you may want to just keep an eye on that as well. Even when it comes to cheese. Cheese is a keto type food, but some people can't process that dairy. So again, you may just have to watch that. Test it. See if these things are affecting you. And what I would personally do is, you know, you want to like do trial of elimination. You want to eliminate certain things. If you feel like things are kind of helping, you know, making you gain weight, pull those out temporarily and see if that's affecting you. But I can guarantee you the snacks that I just listed, I guarantee you it's going to sabotage your weight loss. All right. So with that, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and also make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, I will see you then.